Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz was born on the 1st of July 1646 and died on the 14th of November 1716, Germany. He was not only an influential mathematician, he was well regarded in disciplines of law, metaphysics, philosophy, theology, ethics, and logic. Not surprisingly, Leibniz was a child prodigy. He entered university to study law and came into contact with his peers, Galileo, Francis Bacon, Thomas Hobbes, and René Descartes. In his day job, he worked as a politician and representative of the Royal House of Hanover. He still found time to work on philosophy, logic, and mathematics. He was perhaps the first to explicitly employ the mathematical notation of a function to denote geometric concepts derived from a curve, and developed a system of infinitesimal calculus independently of his contemporary Sir Isaac Newton. He also revived the ancient method of solving equations using matrices, invented a practical calculating machine, and pioneered the use of the binary system, which was capable of multiplying, dividing, and even extracting roots, a great improvement on Pascal's rudimentary adding machine and a true forerunner to the computer. It would later become the foundation of virtually all modern computer systems, and Leibniz's documentation was essential in the development process. Leibniz was a member of the Royal Society in London, as was Newton. No doubt he was certainly aware of Newton's work on calculus. Leibniz developed a very similar theory of calculus, apparently completely independently. Within a short period of about 2 months, he had developed a complete theory of differential calculus and integral calculus. Unlike Newton, however, he was more than happy to publish his work, and so Europe first heard about calculus from Leibniz in 1684, not from Newton, who published nothing on the subject till 1693. When the Royal Society was asked to adjudicate between the rival claims of the two men over the development of the theory of calculus, they gave credit for the first discovery to Newton, and credit for the first publication to Leibniz. Leibniz is also considered the most important logician between Aristotle in ancient Greece and George Boole and Augustus de Morgan in the 19th century. In 1854, British mathematician George Boole published a landmark paper detailing an algebraic system of logic that would later become known as Boolean algebra. His logical calculus was becoming instrumental in the design of digital electronic circuitry. In 1937, Claude Shannon produced his master thesis that implemented Boolean algebra and the binary arithmetic using electronic relays and switches for the first time in history. In November 1937, George Stieglitz, then worked at Bell Labs, completed a relay-based computer that he dubbed the Model K, which calculated using binary addition. In addition to calculus, Leibniz rediscovered a method for arranging linear equations into an array, now called a matrix, which could be manipulated to find a solution. A similar method had been pioneered by Chinese mathematicians almost 2 millennia earlier, but had long fallen into disuse. Leibniz paved the way for later work on matrices and linear algebra by Carl Gauss. He also introduced notations of self-similarity and the principle of continuity, which foreshadowed an area of mathematics which would become to be called topology. Even though he actually published nothing on formal logic in his lifetime, he enunciated his working drafts and principal properties of what we now call conjunction, disjunction, negation, identity, set inclusion, and the empty set.